Welcome to Safe Spaces and Green Spaces, a special segment of the Daily Parks and Rec Show, where we explore mental health, well-being, and the positive impact parks and recreation have on building stronger, healthier communities. Hosted by Thomas White, join us every first Wednesday of the month at 1:30 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations, real stories, and practical insights that help create safe places for everyone. In this episode, we discuss how creating safe spaces in parks and recreation can break the stigma around mental health, strengthen workplace culture, and build healthier, more connected communities.
America, we are live on Safe Spaces and Green Spaces, the #1 place for the parks and recreation community to talk about mental health issues and the struggles that we all face. Because let's face it, even if we don't want to talk about it, every single one of us faces mental health struggles at some point in our life. They are incredibly common. Unfortunately, society has stigmatized them. We're on a mission to stop that stigma. We believe on the Safe Spaces and Green Spaces that if we can create an environment in which people are comfortable enough that they don't have to hide their mental health struggles, just like they don't have to hide their physical struggles, then we will be able to unleash creativity and innovation like never before. This is our test case. This is where we're going with it. We got a lot of great shows on the Daily Parks and Rec show. Jovi, do you got that graphic up there? We got a lot of these great shows. Jovi's backstage with us. Mondays packed with the leadership series, the Park and Tech Collective, Smart Parks Forward with my friend Dave Ramirez. Tuesdays, on the front line with John Prude, the single most organized and informative show, I believe personally, that we have. Wednesdays alternate between Safe Spaces and Green Spaces, the Rec Room, and the most amazing Arts in the Parks done by Miss Vasquez. And then, of course, on Thursday, Youth Sports Mastery and the Young Professionals Network. Closing out the week is Wesley King with the Aquatics Life. Tune in to any of these shows, but before we get to it and bring our guest on, let's pay some bills.
The future of parks and recreation isn't coming, it's already here. Across communities everywhere, technology is transforming how parks connect, engage, and serve the people who rely on them. From smart amenities and connected infrastructure to real-time data and innovative solutions, a new generation of parks is taking shape. Welcome to Smart Parks Forward, presented by DPRS Media Network and co-produced by Outdoor Link. Each episode brings you the leaders, innovators, and visionaries driving the future of parks and recreation. Discover groundbreaking ideas, real-world success stories, and the technologies helping agencies create safer, smarter, and more connected communities. Because great parks don't just improve spaces, they improve lives. The future is connected. The future is intelligent. The future is now. This is Smart Parks Forward.
Smart Parks Forward, that's definitely what we're talking about. And speaking of smart parks, let's talk about some of the smart professionals that are in this field that are making things happen every day. Just down the hallway from me right now is Mr. Kevin KP Patterson. KP, introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, everyone. I'm KP. That's what everybody calls me, but my name is Kevin Patterson. I'm the Deputy Administrator of Athletics here at Henry County Parks and Rec. I oversee all of the youth and adult athletic programs that we offer to the citizens of Henry County. community, trying to instill a positive atmosphere for these kids to have somewhere to thrive and grow, to gain viable life lesson experience through the lens of sports. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. And from Spalding County, our neighbor right next door, emerging legend in the field, Mr. Horace Shivers. Bring it in, sir.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Like Thomas said, my name is Horace Shivers. I'm the deputy director over here in Spalding County. Been with Spalding County for 2 years now, nearly 3 years. It'll be this upcoming January. Oversee our safety portion, security, and our HR section right here in our Spalding County Lead Service Division. Also responsible for overseeing our 3 community centers, City Park, Fairmont, and Bucks. Also oversee our new Legacy Museum that we will have open this upcoming year. We're looking to open that in the upcoming months around August. That's the set goal. I also oversee our athletics department as well. So, man, my goal and why I love Parks and Recs is, man, I just love being in the community. I love serving the youth. Not only just serving the youth, but also allow you serve different people as well, the seniors, just all those things of that nature, man. Once again, man, this is my field. This is my passion. I just love Parks and Recs.
Thomas, what you don't know is I coach this young man.
What? I did not know that.
Yes, sir. We go way back. He coached me.
Yep.
Tell me this story. I got to hear this.
So, growing up in Monticello, Georgia, KP actually was one of my teachers throughout my high school career. Was it middle school or high school?
High school.
Okay, high school. Yep. So then KP also coached basketball. So he was one of my basketball coaches too. So we go way back, man. Like,
yeah, I see that. Wow. Okay. I had no idea. KP's filling in because Kim couldn't make it today, but this seems perfect, like in the making here.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. You did not mention this to me yesterday, so I think you wanted to have this on the show.
The thing about it, though, Thomas, when I tell the story, no one can believe it because KP looks so young.
I mean, he really does.
It's so crazy.
He's like 5 years older than me, but I look way older than he does. Trust me, I don't turn 40 until the end of this month. So
I know that's crazy, and I'm 39. So
right.
Who knows how old KP is?
Right, exactly. Exactly. But he looks younger than both of us.
I'm telling you.
Jeez.
I'll be 47 in October, though.
I don't know how he does it, though, because athletics is by far, especially the lead athletics person, is by far, in my opinion, the hardest job in Parks and Recreation, because the parents, seeing reason is not necessarily something they always do. I'm just going to put it that way. Seeing reason is not something they always necessarily do, and KP's the one that has to field all that.
Yeah.
So I got camp. That happens twice, 2 months out of the year, every year. And I got after school. Those are my two big challenges. Not the rec centers I manage, not the other 60 staff members. That's 70 that's in there with that camp and after school. That's my challenge.
That's tough, man.
But I would not want KP's job at all. It's a great job. Because you got games going on until late at night almost every day of the week. It's not off. You're not just off. But anyway, speaking of departments and everything that we do, we call ourselves on our monthly podcast, The Rec Room, Henry County Parks and Recreation's monthly podcast. We call ourselves the best led Parks and Rec department in the nation. And I am willing to go up against any department with that. However, I went to Spalding County a few months ago. I would be very worried if we had to go against Spalding County with that argument, because Spalding County is great.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, that worries me a little bit.
Listen, we appreciate all the love, man. We work very hard over here, man. We see the work y'all putting in too. We saw the grand opening of the Aquatic Center. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We appreciate that. But that bus y'all have, that bus for the seniors that y'all have, wow, man.
Oh yeah,
That thing
yeah.
is like
Big Blue.
floating. Yeah, I was there for the board of trustees meeting. It pulled up to the hotel to take us from the hotel to the meeting. We got on. I'm like, did they charter a bus? They said, no, this is just for our seniors. Like, you have TVs, you have cushions. Like, what? What is happening?
Oh yeah, man. We get
I got an old school bus out back. That's what we got.
Hey man, shout out to our county managers, Dr. Steve Ledbetter for that, man.
Definitely. All right, guys. So this is what we're here to do today. I have a theory, and I want your comments on the theory. About halfway through, about 30 minutes in, so we got about 20 minutes. We're going to take a break, and we'll get into the second half of the show. But the first half of the show, I want to really talk about the perspective on my theory and your thoughts on it. My theory is that if we create a safe mental health space, and let me clarify what I mean about that. I don't mean a space where someone can break down and sideline their work and everything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we create a safe space for people with disabilities. We can do the same with someone that has their mental health issues. The stigma is so bad that if they're afraid that if they find out that they're dealing with depression, that if they find out that they're dealing with anxiety, they're afraid that it's going to be the end of their career.
Right.
They're afraid that's going to sideline them for something else. But if we got rid of that environment and we created a place where people felt like they could be themselves no matter what, it will unleash creativity and innovation like we have never considered before.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe that. And this is the perfect time for it to happen because AI is forcing transition that we can say we foresaw it coming, but no one really understood the scope of it until now. Even now, we don't understand the scope of it. We will soon. It'll become, as we go through it more, just like the Renaissance. They didn't understand when they were in the Renaissance what was happening. It's just, this isn't going to be 100 years. This is going to be 10 years tops as the transition takes place. But now is the perfect time to transition towards that. I want to know your theories, your thoughts on that theory.
Go ahead, Hart.
We're going to hear the mentee and the mentor. This is great. Okay.
My theories and thoughts are, man, I feel like once people expand on that aspect of mental health, I feel like we'll be able to expand our horizon.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, because now you got people are more comfortable and open up and enlighten people on that. I feel like we not probably missing out on a lot of great prospects and coming and being a part of what we have to offer to the community, because everybody feel like they can't probably do the job, and like you said earlier, they're not comfortable in expressing depression and things of that nature. I feel like if we create that safe haven, maybe we can learn, create better opportunities and learning how to do that through continuing educations. I know we offer a lot of things at GRPA, and just trying to find ways, like you said, man, just trying to make people feel comfortable and just being a part of our team, and not just being a part of our team, but the people that's currently working with us as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be great, man.
KP?
I think it to me, it comes down to those connections and those personal relationships. Thomas, how our office is and how close knit of a family we are.
100%.
So sometimes just checking in on somebody that you sense that, hey, something's off. Hey, how's it going? Everything all right? Anything you want to talk about? Just letting people know that they have a place and someone that they work with that they can confide in, that they can be comfortable with. And they don't really, and sometimes you don't even have to talk about the situation itself. Just giving them the outlet to talk, giving them an outlet to laugh, joke, enjoy. Just those environments and those interactions, I think, will continue to open doors and open up opportunities to create certain safe spaces, as you were speaking on, Thomas. We have our breakfast club, as you know. We banter back and forth with each other, and it's almost as if we've been around each other so much, we sense when something is off with one of
Yeah.
us.
100%.
And I think as you are around your other coworkers and your other staffs and the other rec centers, or with my staff that are scorekeepers and coordinators that I don't get to see on a daily basis, but when I am around, just having conversations about them or with them about their family, their personal life, you start to get a sense of, okay, you know, take for Shiley, for instance, Thomas. Shy is always smiling,
Right.
always smiling.
Right.
He's not smiling, something's wrong. He may not want to say what's going on, but we know, hey, something's not right.
Right.
So just learning your staff and learning people around you to give you that sense of, hey, let me just go wellness check. Let me see what's going on. I tried to make Jamie laugh last week. I know she was under a lot of, stress and pressure. Not to say she was, dealing with anything mentally for depression, but she wasn't her normal self. So I'm like, hey. So I just went up, hey, laugh, smile, like just messing with her, because I know who she is. I know her personality. And I think the more we do that, the better off we are able to create those safe spaces and create those environments for our staff and our employees to open up and be comfortable with coming to work, even though they may have or be dealing with mental health, but they have the confidence and comfortable enough to come to work knowing that they're not being judged, knowing that they're not going to be targeted, but they are generally going to be cared about and have a genuine concern from their counterparts.
I think you raise a really good point there. And something you said, yes, everything was a great point, but there's something I really want to focus on. When you mentioned Jamie, you said not saying that she was dealing with anything, she was just under a lot of pressure. That's important to remember. When we think of mental health struggles, we think of depression, we think of anxiety, schizophrenia, those type of things, and it just a large array. But our mental health, just like if you're exercising, your body is under strain. That pressure that you're putting up with work, that mentally puts you under strain. And that can weigh on you. When you get done exercising or in your exercise, you feel that burn, that pain, and then you have to have a recovery period afterwards. Sometimes it's just the pressure of the day, but if we try to hide it, if we force people to mask, then they never get the chance to really show us who they are. So many people are in the workforce right now. They believe that they have to be a certain way, that they have to comply, and this is the only way that things can be done. And that was the generation before us. That was a big thing with the baby boomer generation and the greatest generation before that. It was uniformity, but that came from a time period in which you had to do certain things and be a certain way to be able to survive. The world's changed now. We're in an environment in which people can be free to explore other things and do other things, but we're still treating it like we did 50, 60 years ago. Don't get me wrong, the stigma has gone down some, even just from the early 2000s, the stigma has gone down some.
I mean, Thomas, that's to piggyback off what you're saying. Think about the stigmatism of men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Men are supposed to be these tough, macho individuals. We don't supposed to show emotions. We don't supposed to cry. We don't supposed to, have these feelings. And a lot of times when we're dealing with stress, pressure, anxiety, we try to deal with it alone, and it builds up until it gets to the point where we explode. Women tend to have someone they can go to, have another female friend or a male friend that they can go confide in and talk to. Men don't do that.
It's hard, yeah.
And I think a lot of times you see it and you hear it all the time is, why didn't anybody get him any help? Why didn't anybody get them any help? Well, sometimes people, they feel like they don't have any help. They don't want anybody to know what they're dealing with. And how do we break that stigmatism of letting people know, hey, it's okay to let us know that you're not okay? Like,
It's only been in the past year and a half. No, I guess it's been longer than that now, past 2-3 years, that I have felt comfortable going to another man and saying, hey, are you okay? Because it's something you're trained not to do.
Right.
It's something you're trained not to do. Now, me, I worked in a prison for 13 years, maximum security prison for most of that time, not the whole time, but most of the time I was at either a close or high max prison. And expressing emotion and things like that, it was a weakness in front of the inmates. And so we were conditioned not to do that. I was always really, really bad at that. And it used to be hilarious to everyone that I just didn't care about it. But, and I'll give you an example, what I mean about certain restraints. So everyone that carries a taser has to be tased. Every single person is encouraged to do every single person has to do the exact same thing, or they try to do the exact same thing, and that's to not make a sound when they're being tased. It's 7 seconds, some of the most intense pain you'll ever feel. During that 7 seconds, the goal is to not make any sounds. I didn't care about that. They tased me. I started screaming. Halfway through, I thought, this isn't helping. I must not be screaming loud enough. I screamed so loud that two people have to hold you up and guide you to the floor to make sure you safely land. And I scared the two people holding me up so bad that they froze and couldn't take me to the ground.
oh, wow.
But even despite that, even despite the fact that I never had problems showing my emotion, I never had problems showing vulnerability or anything like that, I couldn't go up to somebody else, especially another man, and ask them how they were doing, because I was conditioned not to do that. So even though I myself felt free to do it, I couldn't do it for other people. It took me a long time to learn that.
And I know for me, Thomas, man, I still openly struggle with doing that, but I do have a good support system around me, which is my wife, my pastor, and I do have a small group of close friends that I'm able to articulate some of the things that I'm dealing with personally. Because, like you said earlier, man, KP has a lot going on with athletics. You have a lot going on with summer camps, and just dealing with the community as well. Because everybody think we have an easy job, and the biggest thing they first thing is to do is to criticize us when they come in. Right. They don't think about that event planning. They don't think about everything that went involved in planning an event. They might see all the wrong and things of that nature. So that can kind of lead to some mental health issues, because one, you're kind of angry, but you can't lash out. You work a government. Right. So you have to keep those emotions intact.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and it never stops. It
never stops.
Our social media page is one of the is probably one of the most active in the nation for a Parks and Rec group that's our size. Somebody's got a lot of feedback I'm getting. Did y'all mute? I'm sorry. It just got really bad for a second.
Is it better?
Yeah. Okay. That sounds better. Sorry about that. But where was I going? I'm sorry.
The social media.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. We have one of the probably most active social medias in the nation for a parks department our size, and even a lot of them that are larger. But to do that, it requires constant engagement. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is social media. The last thing I do when I go to bed is social media. It's gotten so large that I can't do it by myself anymore. There's actually 3 of us working on it in the office. But it's constant. It's constant. The good thing about me is I can do it from my recliner at home. You guys, y'all have to be out in the field with athletics. There's no doing it from the recliner at home.
Right.
But there's a downside to that too. We talk about the pressure, there's a downside to that. So we did the math. I think it was 1,715 days since I had not logged into our social media every single day. Your body produces cortisol steroid when you're stressed.
That's crazy.
And if that stays elevated, it starts causing physical and mental issues because you're in the fight or flight mode constantly at that point. That weighs on you. You may not realize that it's weighing on you. So I would sit there on social media in my recliner, just working on social media. But after doing it for 1,700 something days straight, that took a toll that I didn't realize it was taking on me, because I'm thinking I'm doing this from my recliner. Like, what is there's no big deal. But because I'm dealing with the issues there, that stress steroid is not dropping. And it's just day after day after day. So I took some leave the other day, and they took my work phone and my laptop from me, so I couldn't find them. Mm-hmm. And my boss actually did this. KP, I think, was in on
I wasn't in on it.
You watched it happen and did not say no.
I didn't watch it. I didn't see it.
It was right outside your office door.
I didn't see it.
It was literally outside your office. They hid the computer in the room next to you. Yes, you were involved.
Oh, and you played a part.
Right. But that had been the first time in those 2 days, because I made it 2 days before I logged back in on my personal stuff. So, but those 2 days were the first time that I had been off, and I could tell an immediate difference by the end of that first day. My shoulders finally relaxed, my jaws finally relaxed.
Yeah.
But we struggle with that, and we think that we have to carry everything ourselves. If we create an environment in which people feel like they can rely on each other, that they can be honest with each other, that they can talk about their stuff, that creates a dynamic of teamwork that's hard to match. I think that's why our office has been how it is, KP, and you tell me where it's wrong. I know we talk about Breakfast Club a lot and everything, but Breakfast Club, we actually talk about our problems. We talk about what we're going through, and everybody's aware of it. And I'm not saying that I'm telling you every little thing, but when I went through my depressive state a few years ago, everybody in the office realized it. I lost 30 pounds in less than a month, and everybody noticed, everybody intervened, everybody was there for me. I tried to say, no, I'm good, but everybody was there regardless. And
I mean, we talk. That's the one good thing I do like about our office and the environment we have.
We don't stop talking.
Yeah, we don't stop talking. But I mean, we talk about, we don't just talk about work. Mm-hmm. I mean, we do if we're dealing with something, but we talk about life, like what's going on in our lives. And I think that helps out a lot with our environment and the space we created here. Mm-hmm. Is that it's not all about work all the time. It is about, hey, how's it going? What did you do this weekend? Mm-hmm. Or, hey, let me tell you what happened this weekend. Like we talk, and I think that allows that door to stay open to, hey, I'm dealing with something. I need to go talk to somebody. Whoever it may be, talk to that person, let them know that, hey, I got this going on. And it's always good just to have that one person that can listen.
Yeah, 100%.
And just let you know that, hey, everything's gonna be all right. If there's anything else you need, come to me, let me know. Like, and I think Don and JP do a good job of being someone that, hey, if you need to talk or if you're going through, let us know. And they are leaders that say, hey, if you need a day off, take it off.
Yeah,
like they're not one to deal with it, come to work like that.
Usually when I take off, unless it's a family trip or something like that, usually it's because Donna has come to me and say, hey, you need to take some time off. Yeah. Because like I said, it doesn't register to me all the time And so usually that is the situation in which they say something, take a time off. And JP and Donna are both really good about, if they see you down, they're going to ask you why.
That's
Now
good.
we're going to talk about that when we come back from break, but I want to leave y'all with this
Okay.
question. We are not question, but this statement to think about it. We spend so much time together in Parks and Rec with our departments because of the nature of the job. I feel like we are predisposed to creating an environment in which we are more open with each other. Like KP was saying, in our office, we talk about what we do on the weekends. We talk about our problems at home with each other. And it's because we spend all my best friends are in the department that I work in.
Wow.
And it's because of the amount of time that we spend together. So think about that as we go to break. Jovi, take us away.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the Daily Parks and Rec Show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
They say it's just rec. Just rec, where kids learn to try again. Just rec, where confidence begins. Where teamwork, effort, and fun matter more than trophies. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. It's not just rec. It's where kids learn to love the game and themselves. It's just rec until they learn teamwork for life. It's just rec, but it's everything to them. It's more than rec. It's a movement. It's just rec until you realize it's shaping the next generation. Together, we're not just running programs. We're building a culture of confidence, connection, and community. Join us.
Wow, that last flyer, it's not just rec to them. That last promo, it's not just rec to them. Wow, that's really talks on the importance of what we do right there. Before we go any further, I want to recognize somebody. The people backstage, they are incredible. Keeping the Daily Parks and Rec Show and all of its children of shows, so to speak, all of its family of shows going. They make that happen. Jovi is in the Philippines making this happen. I believe it's 2:00 in the morning in the Philippines right now. So she is up at 2:00 in the morning. She probably doesn't want me talking about this, but I just want to recognize how great they are, how much they're doing. Jovi, we appreciate you. We appreciate the rest of the team that's backstage and everything you're doing to make this show happen.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm not going to wait for a reply because there's a chance she will reply. There's chances not. Just know you're great, Jovi. I know you hear me. So it's great that we have these people. Back to what we were talking about. That was the perfect promo to end on this. It's not just rec. We cannot serve our community Oh, she just replied in the.
Yeah, I see it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. I knew you were listening. So anyway, we cannot serve our community if we do not have the right team dynamic.
Mhm.
I believe Parks and Rec, we are predisposed to creating a team dynamic in which people can be open. That's why I think we can be the game changer in workforce development
Sorry
and
about
making
that.
this theory happen. I don't know. Y'all are making me feel bad because I hadn't got a single phone call this entire time.
Listen, I've been getting text messages, calls.
I just want you to know, I usually get,
It's the life of athletics.
I'm telling you.
I want everybody to know that usually this phone is going off, but it hadn't went off one time.
It's the life of athletics, man.
Y'all are just making me feel bad. Wow. Jeez. No, summer camp's out this week, so I'm not answering my phone. So I'm good. I've been waiting for this week for 5 weeks now. So
I can only imagine.
Yeah, even if they call, I'm not answering. So somebody just texted me. I bet you they heard me say that. Somebody just texted me. Speaking of that, anybody watching, we would love for you to comment if you have any questions. Go ahead, ask us questions, tell us what you want to know, and we'll answer them live on the air. Before we get into that, let's talk about that team dynamic. Horace, we talked about what Henry County and their team dynamic is. We talk about it all the time. We've got the monthly shows. I'm curious, Spalding County, what's it like over there? Y'all have some of the best people over there with Kelly and TJ. So
yes, we have an interesting dynamics with parts and leisure services. So some of the things we are thinking about doing is maybe having some more social things where we can come together and just do things outside of work. You know what I'm saying? Like we can just sit around and do some of the things y'all do. Y'all just talk with y'all breakfast thing. Maybe we can just, cause at the end of the day, a lot of us are going through the same issues. We just not expressing it openly because we have to work. We work in the same field, so we gotta, similarities in dealing with the same issues.
Definitely.
So I think having that open line communication in that area, it kind of helps us deal with some of the issues that we're dealing with too. Like for me personally, I only been here 2 years, but if I could just open up and express some of the things I'm going with through someone like TJ and Kelly, 30 years plus, they can kind of help me alleviate some of the issues that I'm going through, So that aspect right there is team building, to answer your question, trying to come together some more team building things.
It's kind of perfect that you say that because it's not even just within our agency, it's within the state as a whole because GRPA has this professional association and we're all very close in GRPA, probably closer than other professional associations that I've seen personally. But, and again, I think it's just the nature of the job that we're in. But for example, I was talking to a director in South Georgia. I don't have permission to say his name, so I'm not going to. They had to fire somebody this week. I had to fire somebody this week. It doesn't matter how many times you fire somebody. It never gets easier. It always sticks with you. It doesn't matter what they've done. You're going to feel some type of weight to it because it's never an easy decision. And we talked about that. We talked it over. That's not when we called it calls. We talked in the article for the magazine, but we wound up discussing that. And it was, it's just that peer-to-peer support. That's why I think that we can pave the way. I'm talking about expanding beyond what just Parks and Rec is doing. Parks and Rec is doing in your local government. Getting that atmosphere going in Parks and Rec and then expanding it beyond that. Today, I have a meeting in just a little bit with our communications department. I had a meeting with our EMA department earlier today. Those we cross all the time. 911. You would not think Parks and Rec and 911 work together a lot, but our 911 department and us, we put things on together and do things for each other all the time just because we've been able to establish that relationship. So we can be the change agents that make that happen. What's stopping us from doing it? What do you think is the hindrance? That's a tough question. That's a tough
Yeah.
question because it requires vulnerability. We're trained not to think about what is stopping us. We're trained not to think about that. And I'm not talking about our leaders, our bosses, or things like that. I'm talking about, and there's one thing I'm thinking of, but I'm curious to see if you are thinking the same thing. No right or wrong answer. What do you think the hindrance is from us spreading that Parks and Rec joy to other departments?
I think it's the workload sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think certain areas such as seasons and the day, you're not able to pull away from doing other things outside of your work duties that the things you are responsible for. There are so many things that like for instance, I come in every day, I create a tech list, but oftentimes some things come up throughout my day that I can't even account for, that I have to attend to, and I'm not even able to complete my checklist.
Right.
So I think the heavy workload sometimes deviate us from doing certain things that we might want to do.
That's a fact because when basketball season starts, you don't see KP again until the end of February.
And he's a basketball guy.
He comes to the Christmas party. Other than that, you don't see him until the end of February.
Yeah.
If you want to find him, you got to go to the basketball court because that's the only place he's going to be. There or dealing with some uniforms somewhere.
Unfortunately. I think sometimes egos.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Ego, pride, and just that some people have that mentality of I don't want to share. Because they fear that if they share, this person is going to gain that knowledge to one day remove them or replace them. And a lot of people, they fear that.
That's what I was thinking too, KP. Go ahead.
And we should think like that in this profession because we should want that next generation to come up and take our place and continue to move the needle and push forward with the ideas and the innovations and the creativity that we've already started. But
we have to mold them to do that.
We have to mold them. Yes,
and if we're not doing it, then it's not going to happen.
And it's not going to happen. And I think that's why a lot of young professionals get out of it early.
Yeah.
Because they don't have those role models or those individuals
people are not sharing with them.
That won't share, that won't lead them, or that won't help them develop, that won't teach them.
People come in excited and then they don't have anywhere to go from there. So that excitement is not fostered, it drops.
Yeah, JP tells me all the time, like sometimes you're going to have to get in front of what your coordinators you feel like they should be handling, but sometimes you have to step in front of it, handle the situation, but then go back to them and have that conversation. Hey, this is what we were dealing with. This is why I did what I did. I want you to understand the steps I took to handle this so that you can better be prepared the next go around. And that's something I had to learn. That's something JP had to continue to preach into me because I felt like, okay, I hired you for this position. You need to, handle it. I had to realize that, okay, I'm hurting them and I'm not helping them. The way I help them is, hey, let me be the leader and show them how to handle this situation because they're not comfortable doing it. And I've gotten to that point where a lot of stuff I jumped out in front of them and took care of it and handled it, and then said, hey, this is why we did what we did. And I never say I always say we. Whether whoever is in the front lead is we. And Thomas will tell you, my team, I never say I. It's always we did this over. If I'm replying to something, it's we. It's our athletic staff. I never put myself in the position to feel like.
I say I all the time. I have a big ego. I'm selfish.
I don't do that. Hars know this just as well. I don't need any coaches, any parents passing my coordinators and coming directly to me.
See, me, I say all the time, I say I screwed up. I messed that up. I got that wrong.
Yeah, I can't do
I say it all
that,
the
Thomas.
time, at least 5 or 6 times a day. No, so man, I feel struck by what you just said because my wife at least once a week, because we'll get phone calls late at night and everything. Somebody needs to deal with something, and I have a habit sometimes of just dealing with it because I can deal with it quickly. I worked in a maximum security prison. I know working stress under pressure. I know crisis management. I know emergency management. So I'm used to making quick decisions. And oftentimes, though, it should have been my staff member making that decision, but I didn't empower them to do that. I didn't give them the chance to do that. And it sells them short from what they are able to do. Um, Guys, I got a call coming in from the Splash Bash, and I've got to answer it. Can y'all go ahead and expand on that? And I'm going to mute myself.
Go ahead. But I just feel like that's a huge issue within the field is the sharing and the giving of knowledge from, like you said, those individuals that have been in the industry for 25, 30 plus years that have a wealth of knowledge that they can share. However, they're afraid to share or they don't want to share, and it forces the younger generation out of it.
Do you think the scare of job security, like somebody younger might be coming up, might overlap you, or you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Not only is job security, if you get that kind of manager or that director that sees this young individual doing this, and that seasoned person is here,
they're going to wonder, why are you plateauing?
Yeah, this person is going to be like, well, how can I change this trajectory? They're going to do whatever they can to try to make it this way, because they know as long as they continue to go this way, something at some point is going to be like, well, hey, it's time for you to resign, or it's time for you to move into another role, so we can put this person that's doing this elevate into this position to elevate it and take it to the next level.
That's something I struggled with. That's something I struggled with myself because I'm a very ambitious person. Everybody about me knows that. It's not a secret that I'm an ambitious person. And early on, the response was when I saw somebody doing great and getting a chance because of something they did, my first just initial reaction back in my early 20s was, well, why didn't I get that opportunity? I'm doing this, so I need to go show this person up. Instead of celebrating what they were doing and what they were bringing to the team, my initial reaction was, no, I need to, and I would be resentful towards the other person. It took me a couple of years to get past that and learn how much that I was, and I'm glad I learned that lesson because the people that we have in our office right now, I don't know if you've met Paige and Zach before, but they're 10 times better than me on everything that they do. They're eventually going to replace me. I already started putting out applications for when it happens. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But it's in the back of my mind how great they are. But that's what we have to encourage. We have to encourage people that do that great. I am all about succession planning, and I think I'm all about succession planning because I used to be the exact opposite. I used to be the gatekeeper. When I first made sergeant back in 2009, I was trying to protect my spot. That was the thing I was trying to do, trying to protect my spot. We had laid off. This was in the middle of the housing crisis. Not laid off, but we had frozen the jobs. We had cut positions. There were 2 lieutenant spots that somebody could get. And I was trying to protect anybody else from getting that spot as much as I could. And it took a while before I realized that's the wrong attitude to have. And so I think because I had that early self-failure, that's why I'm so big on it now, because everybody I hire, just about, I hire a lot of young people that are fresh out of high school or fresh out of college, because I believe we have to have the department ready to go for when we leave, or it's going to fall.
I agree.
If we hire those young people and get them engaged, 20 years from now, they're going to be where we're at now. And they're going to be turning around and doing the same thing. We just have to keep them. That's the hard part, keeping them once we start it. But I hire a lot of young people that don't have very much experience because we can mold them. We can do that succession planning. Sometimes it works. There's been some cases where my hires did not exactly meet the grade, so to speak. But we've had some standouts. It did not take you as long to make a face as I thought it was going to. When I first started, I really thought you were going to make a face right away. It did not take as long. That's what I said. But we've had some standouts from some of our young people. We've got Kiera, even though she's gone to a job, her dream job, she's one of the best examples. Kosia, who I just had live on Facebook just a minute ago. Great example of young people that are coming into the profession that are making changes. Zach and Paige, I think both of them are 29 or 28, something like that.
They're both young.
Yeah, yeah. So those are, and already surpassing me. Oh, gosh. Y'all, 40's hitting me hard this month.
I'll tell you, man. And the thing I like about the young people too, man, you know, that they bring that innovation.
Yeah.
You know, they more up to date than what we are.
And that's the point. That's the whole point behind this podcast.
Yeah.
We have to create the space. Mental health is the gateway. Creating that space where people can feel free to be themselves and express themselves. That is the gateway. Once they're comfortable doing that, the ideas that they bring, the creativity that they bring can transform the field. I believe it can transform government, period. But we're starting with Parks and Rec. The goal is to expand, but that's really how we change the world. And I use that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, final thoughts. Let's bring it down to final thoughts. Horace, we started with KP on the way out. So what's something that what's your final thought on this? And then share what you want the people to know, people to hear.
My final thought, mental health is definitely a serious subject among not only Parks and Recs, but throughout society. I think definitely maybe something we can start doing when we go to these GRPA events, maybe start setting up certain sessions, like a group session, and we can start sharing our thoughts and our ideas and some of the challenges that we are going through and creating that opening space. So we can keep building on that. My final thoughts that I want to share with everybody, I don't want anybody to leave this conversation and not think that they can't express themselves when it comes to mental health. I want everybody to know that they should feel comfortable with expressing themselves when it comes to that area. And I just think that once we establish some of these things, like the openness of it and accepting people as they share it, I think we'll be better off.
KP?
Just, I don't know. The word love comes to mind. Just love each other and treat each other with respect. I think a lot of times we see people doing certain things or in certain position, and we feel like, okay, they ain't got no issues. I don't have no worries. They're good, and they're not. They're not good. And if we do not create an environment to allow them to speak freely or come to you freely to have conversation, it's going to lead to, things we see on the news and social media that we don't like to see when it comes to mental health. And I think the more opportunities we can provide people to have a place or an environment to be themselves, the better. I don't know, Thomas, you always thinking of different groups and different ways. I know we always trying to figure out how to reach that next group or that next community. I don't know, maybe at some point we do create a environment or a session or something on a weeknight or weekend where we just, hey, spoken word or open mic.
Yeah, there you
There's a
go.
lot of people that just come in and speak their feelings or write what they're going through. Like
I just had that conversation last week to do that.
and I mean, it's a non-judgment. It's a way to be creative, but it's also a way to allow people to get something off their chest or off their thought, like that is, you know, building up inside. But they can do it through spoken word. They can do it through creative writing. Creating that. They're finding different avenues to create for people to come in and like-minded situations to be themselves.
KP, you just said that's a really great idea. That is a really, really great idea. And now I'm going to run with it and take credit for it. But it is.
You know me. I'm in the background. I like being in the background.
It is live and recorded, so you can dispute that later on.
Trademark.
We'll be on the Internet Archives, and we are on Spotify, and where all podcasts are available now. So you can find proof that I was, in fact, not the idea creator, but that's what everybody's going to think until they look up the proof. I just want that to be for the record. No, all jokes aside, everybody listening at home or at work, I want you to remember this right here. You do not have to be in a leadership position to lead. If you're wanting an environment in your office, in your agency, in your department like that right now, you can create that environment.
Right.
You can make that happen by being the example. There may be situations in which you get pushback. There may be situations in which you get ridiculed. But does it mean enough to you to create that environment, to be able to be yourself and encourage others to be themselves? I did it in a maximum security prison.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do it in a maximum security prison, you can do it too. Trust me, you're a lot stronger than I am because I'm not that strong. You can make it happen. You can be the change. You can change the world. Thank you so much, everybody. Jovi, I appreciate you one more time. Let's take it out.
This episode is brought to you by SDSU's Sports MBA program. If you're passionate about sports and want to work in the women's sports industry, then this is the time to pay attention. SDSU's program is 12 months accelerated hands-on learning where students have actually gotten to work with teams like the San Diego Mojo, partnered with the Farmers Insurance Open, and visited headquarters like the Upper Deck or Callaway Golf. It's built for people who want to be in rooms like that. So if you're interested, deadlines are approaching. Learn more or apply with the links in the description.
In the parks and recreation industry, attention is limited, but influence is everything. Every day, thousands of parks and recreation professionals make critical decisions. Decisions on infrastructure, programs, technology, and vendors. The question is your brand part of that conversation? DPRS Media Network was built to answer that question. We are a dedicated media ecosystem focused exclusively on the parks and recreation industry in the United States. Through a network of daily and weekly shows, we inform, connect, and influence this audience. Our distribution spans multiple platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, plus email campaigns, newsletters, podcasts, and live event coverage. This is not a single-channel strategy. It is a multi-platform media engine. Today, our network reaches over 214,000 connections, including 51,000 on LinkedIn, 64,000 on Facebook, nearly 40,000 email subscribers, and thousands more across podcast and social platforms. While some audiences overlap, our true value is not just reach, it is relevance. We speak directly to parks and recreation directors, program managers, and industry leaders, an audience that is highly targeted and actively engaged. Through DPRS Media Network, your brand integrates seamlessly into this ecosystem. Through sponsored show segments, targeted advertisement placements, podcast features, and host-read promotions, even custom branded content. Not as interruptions, but as part of the conversation. And we don't just operate online. We attend over 15 major parks and recreation conventions each year, reaching more than 24,000 professionals in person. Through live shows, interviews, and on-site media coverage, we position our partners at the center of the industry. Every piece of content we produce is amplified across our entire network. Multiple shows, multiple hosts, multiple platforms. Your message doesn't appear once, it multiplies. This is more than advertising. It is strategic positioning within a trusted media network built specifically for the parks and recreation industry. If your goal is to reach decision makers, build credibility, and stay top of mind, then it's time to partner with DPRS Media Network. Apply for partnership or sponsorship today. Let's position your brand where the industry is already paying attention.